We're back on the Mana Symbol channel. I'm going to play something from the 5-0s. Sweet. Delicious. Yes. Nexus. It's Bant Nexus. Bant Turbo Fog used to be the name of this archetype, although at the time it was playing a bunch of fog effects, some of which flashed back, so you could permanently stop your opponent, or semi-permanently stop your opponent from ever hitting you with creatures. So white, green, and blue are the core colors here. We've got Wilderness Reclamation to turbocharge our mana so that we can use Shark Typhoon and Nexus of Fate to win games, as well as Castle Vantress for ultra scrying and Memory Deluge for a super powerful card draw engine. Counterspell, Remand, Archmage's Charm keep us in the game. Teferi Time Raveler obviously does busted Time Raveler things. And we've got Growth Spiral to sometimes accelerate our mana out. I'm not actually sold on Growth Spiral in this list with only 24 lands. And there's no copies of Hall of Storm Giants in it. So both those things make me kind of not the happiest. I'll be interested to see if, you know, that lines up the way I think it might or might not. When we run into the heavy attrition matchups, things like Black Red and Jund and Grixis, I'm pretty sure we're going to be boarding out all the Reclamations and a few of the other sort of more mana intensive payoffs for Veil of Summer and Endurance, of which we have 4. And then for control matchups, we have Dovin's Veto. Isolate's a really interesting card. Exiles target 1 permanent with mana value 1. So you can use this against Hammer Time. You can use this against Ragavansa DRCs. I don't know if it's worth playing, but it is certainly an instant speed answer to some of the problematic cards in the format. So maybe. You like it the voodoo that I do. Yeah, for those who have never seen drum sheet notation, looks like this. Just basic stuff. And then here's what actual drum set notation looks like. Well, Spike, despite beating us on Team Rhinos last night, didn't get a trophy. Sur Capulet. All right, so probably against control here. Teferi 3 is really bad for us if it resolves, but I have enough land drops. I know the gut shot is going to be, it's just going to look really silly this game. That's fine. So we just have a good curve here with, that's not what I meant to play, but that's okay. We have a good curve here with all the lands we'll ever need, so I'm happy. Sorry, I mean, by good curve, I mean all the lands will, oh, and Mr. Capulet, of course, not playing control. But also not playing Luris. So this might be Black-Red mid-range. I saw that in the 5-0 dump. It's just like Blood Moons and Furies, Seasoned Pyromancer, and Black Discard. So I'm going to play as if I'm going to get Blood Moon here. I'm definitely playing as if I'm about to be Blood Mooned. And that's an excellent draw. How's your morning, Mord? I wanted to raid you last night and you just like disappeared on me. You said you were going to go live after me, but then you was gone. Yund. Boomer Yund? Uh-oh. Nice try, monsieur. Good lord. Man is really out of his comfort zone. I don't even... Lol is right. Am I gonna get boiled out of the sideboard? I'm feeling that we're gonna get boiled out of this. You have got to be kidding me. All right, well, at least we can kill it. Yeah, we YOLO this. Thanks, Gutshot. Oh. It's so good. Sometimes sometimes the good guy wins. Sometimes the good guy wins. Yeah, they weren't with me yesterday. I'm Jira, but they certainly are today. Last 2 or 3 days, they've been very upset with me, but I sacrificed a goat last night. It was a vegan goat, so I think they went for that. The day still it's true. It's true. I shouldn't get cocky. Don't get penishy, kid. All right. Huzzah! No target. Sad Solitude. Ooh, Spyro. The goat was a vegan. The sacrifice, the whole ritual is very much not vegan. Blood, meat everywhere. Crack the bone. For the marrow, obviously. Yeah, it covers everything. Another Deluge and an Archmage's Charm. I, obviously, I want like some of these lands, but I can't use them right now. So unfortunately, I think I just have to do it like this. Like I definitely want more lands than this, but I also need to counter a second Turok if that happens, or many other unpleasant things. Yeah, that can take my growth spiral. That's fine. Ah, incorrect stacking. I don't believe these people. Goif. So my one verdict is still somewhere in my deck. I can draw answers for this. Fine. If I draw Teferi, you can bounce the Solitude. That's an answer. So, yeah, that's good. We're going to draw 2 lands. Nope. Good draws only, I guess. All right, Jund deck. Now, they're not playing Zoomer Jund, so there actually might be Assassin's Trophies in their deck, but I do have another island to get, so if that's the case. Jesus. Well, let's see if we find a counterspell first. Hey, Larynx. Excuse me, blue-white, but not... So I need those. Oh. Is it possible for me to have Counterspell and Growth Spiral up? No. It's not possible. Because I don't have a second breeding pool. I don't have a Hallowed Fountain. That's what I need here. So we just leave up Counterspell, I guess. Or something that costs a single green that doesn't exist in my deck. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. Sharknado. Well, those are not what I was looking for. I mean, the Prismatic Ending's kind of nice. But I could... Oh, but I didn't keep the... Yeah. So I'm just getting noggin whacked here. I guess we max upside. So we take Archmage's Charm and Shark Typhoon. We'll be discarding 2 cards here, but there's a chance we keep a good one, and we did. I'll just take the hit. Oh. Alright. So they're dead. Guys, I found lethal. Don't tell Mord. I need to keep up my image. Tapping all but pool and island. Oh, maybe I could have. But I don't know why I wanted white Menomaniac, but you're 100% right. I don't know how I screwed that up so badly. It's like it was obviously easily possible. I just, in my head, I had it that I also had to have white up for some reason, which was just not true. Huh, weird. It's sometimes, sometimes the brain does funny things. All right. This isn't Zoomer, like, I definitely want all the Veils. I don't think they're on Ragavan, so I don't feel like I need Gutshot, especially because it basically only kills Turok the moment it resolves. Yeah, Isolate is cool, but not for this matchup. I don't think Isolate works here, but it is cool. So many Veils in, Gutshot out. I should probably have some number of Endurance, I just don't know. Like, most of the things in the deck are pretty freaking good. Some number of Remand is probably less than great. Oh, it's Growth Spiral in the hyper interactive matchup. There we go. Easy peasy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Isolate is an instant speed white card that kills Ragavan without giving them extra resources, Goblin Guides, Sigarda's Aids, Colossus Hammers, Esper Sentinel if you needed to. Alright, well, we got a mulligan then, unfortunately. Yeah, to keep bottom one of the Tefs. Let's go. Goodbye, sweet prince. Does not have a lot of blue mana, but at the moment I don't need it, so. And a single Mystic Gate fixes the mana, and they take the Teferi, so either they have a second discard spell, or they have a reason they don't care. Okay. So this would telegraph something to them, but I think that this is the correct sequence no matter what I drew, because in theory I would want to have access to turn 2 counterspell, and when they saw it, like if they were paying as much attention as I was to my lands there, they would realize that that's the only reason why that I sequenced that way. So it looks like it's like, oh, have I ever heard of Netpoon's Fate? No. I also have not heard of Neptune's Fate. Neptune's Pride. Nope. Neither. Oh my god. Brutal. Petition for better counterspell art? This is one of my favorite 2 counterspell arts. I don't really know who you have to threaten to fire me. I guess me? My neighbor's not my neighbor anymore, Mord. Get rid of the white border? There is no non-white border. Well, I guess you could get a foil. Okay, we're dead. Awesome. Put on your Karen hat? Sure. It's okay. We took game 1. It's a stupid, silly way to lose game 2, but it happens. I'm gonna talk to someone more powerful. Mord's right there, dude. Is it possible for me to come back from this? I guess technically. I've taken 0 damage this game. Discard Deluge and Solitude. Hey there, Demir for life. Pretty hyped for the new Kamigawa. Me too. I think it could really help Breach. The classic Jiggy. Is there legendary themed stuff? I hadn't seen any yet, but I'm willing to believe that. Oh, he's playing Shadow Doubt main. I bet the pillages are main too, huh? If I get Shadow Doubted here, I'm definitely dead, so I don't know that I can afford to fetch right now. Okay, we'll just kill that. That's fine. Just keep waiting. Ah, they only have 1 card in hand? Nah, that's not worth the risk. Land with the channel mechanic. So the channel mechanic is returning with Kamigawa. Neon Dynasty? Neon Dynasty. Return to Kamigawa. Which in my boomer opinion is not a return to Kamigawa at all, but let's not get into that right now. This isn't really about hair splitting more than it is about like a what do I want to say? Let's call it an emotional betrayal. Wait, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Not mine, by the way. I'm fine with Neon Destiny. I think it's awesome. But I do not think it's a return to Kamigawa, as I've said before. This is not a real return to Kamigawa. This is about as far from a return to Kamigawa as you could actually give us and still call it that. It's like Kamigawa in name only. Yeah, it looks amazing, and yeah, the art direction is like super cool. I'm a huge fan of everything that it's doing. I just don't like. I just for the people who are like, we're going back to Kamigawa. It's like, yeah, not really though. We're going to a very cool set, and that's awesome, and I'm happy about it. All right, let's draw lands. Huh? 24 land deck, huh? Oh my god, we're gonna lose to Oops All Stone Rains again, aren't we? Can I just mulligan to 5 lands? Like, would anyone be mad if I just tried to mulligan to a hand that was going 5, that was just 5 lands? Because this is hopeless unless I draw another blue source. And even if I do, it's sketchy. Of course, he kept his 7 on the draw. Yeah, so I thought the variance gods were happy with me today, but doesn't seem like it. I mean, I can't keep this and I can't mulligan this. Ugh, I hate playing against these decks. All right, this is the best hand so far. Everything sucks and then you die. This hand was actually slightly better than a 5 land hand that I asked for. Although that's not great. This would let me counterspell. Yeah, sacrificed only 1 goat. I only got 1 game of good luck. That's fair. That's on me. Mr. Maple Syrup with that hot resub. You're incoming, yeah, man. Coming soon to a theater near you. Red 6? Voice, okay. My endurance can beat that. Cool.
Make way for Willie!
And Mikey Hopkins,
Make
thanks
way
for the
for
follow.
Willie, you bloated gust bug!
Put it into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Nexus of Fate, and shuffle it into his owner's library instead. I don't really know, Toboggan. I cannot give you a clear answer. I'm sure there's some stupid niche scenario that one of my... No! God damn it. I should have... Yeah, I should have remembered he'd still have it. God damn it. Jiggy, come on, please. This match has been tilting enough. You had to discard it for Croxa? No, it should be revealed. Well, so that's an interesting question. Yeah, like, I guess technically since it never touches the graveyard, that's why they have to have that text. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not even stupid or niche. It's just like if it goes from any hidden zone. Yes, I know, Jiggy. I really commented on my opening hand that I was keeping it because it was gonna be good control hand against blue-white control, and I'm getting smashed by this crap. And we like beat him so easily in game 1 through him casting Shadow of Doubt because I had like a reasonable hand and got to play. Yeah, I know it's wild. This is a very strange situation to find myself in. It's not even like bad Jund. It's Boomer Jund, but like with weird niche cards. Like it must just be some pet deck. But I wasn't expecting in game 2 to get pillaged into the ground after mulling to 6 and getting discarded. And then this game I mulled to 5 and I kept a pretty good 5, but it's just not panning out. So it's like I just don't need to be kicked while I'm down. And call it bad? Well, I'm not. It's like whether it's bad or not. Like, yeah. You don't expect to get like pillaged like this out of Boomer Jund. He hasn't cast a single Bloodbright Elf. Instead, he's cast Turox at me and stuff. And I'm realizing the mana in this deck is not actually built that well to support Endurance out of the sideboard. You're probably, I guess, supposed to be pitching it more often. Although we've drawn 2 for 2 of the Endurances that I boarded in, so that's kind of bad. Like, Shadow of Doubt is not actually a bad card, right? It's just one that it's like very situational, but it adds to strategies well. It's like Boom Bust. Is Boom Bust a bad card in the abstract? Yeah, maybe, but a 2-mana land destruction spell if you can tilt it that way, plus a card that has 8 CMC against the new versions of Mill. Like that's all relevant text. So if I don't... Well, it's not even that narrow, right? But you're right, it definitely doesn't fit into the tap out mid-range deck. But like, I don't know, I assume he knows what he's doing. Like in terms of building it. Right, like it's adding to a strategy. Like he's playing it with pillages, and obviously that like you can exploit the situations that puts your opponent in and just like go pedal to the metal and kill them. Right, like now I'm on 0 resources because I've been forced to trade early so repeatedly. I don't even know if I'm supposed to fetch here. I think I'm dead. Yeah. All right. That was unfortunate. I feel like we had a good setup for that. I feel like we had a good sideboard for that. We just got punked out of game 2 and 3. But it is what it is. That's why Jund decks are good. 8 discard spells, clear the way and crush them. Right. Well, it's like, but how often do you need the situation to come up for Shadow of Doubt to be good? Toboggan. Well, it's like, it's weird because like a way that Spike criticizes a lot of cards that people like is like, well, of course it looks good in the good situations, and it's like, yeah, have you ever had your Turok gut shotted? I know you have. Like, when your opponent had like one card in hand, you played it, and then it got killed, and they killed you in the next turn. It's like, we don't judge cards when they look bad for looking bad. I mean, sometimes you do, but I mean, it goes both ways, I guess, is my point. All right, if this is actual factual Tron, which it probably is, this is not a good hand to have against them, but the Archmage's Charm could get us where we need to go. Some of their payoffs are not super relevant against us. Unplayable is just another type of playable. Sleeve playable. Much like me, it's just a little bit HP. That's great. Shadow of Doubt, like I like it at least a little bit more than Leonin Arbiter, because you don't like build, don't have to build your whole deck around trying to exploit it. I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't. Just let people play fetch lands into it. Are you gonna upkeep map? What about Seagate Wreckage, Toboggan? What about Castle Vantress? I mean, it's floating. Is that land? Mr. Sari. What's up, nerd?
You can run, but you can't glide.
We just got beat by Mr. Capulet on Jund with Shadow of Doubt and Pillage. It was traumatic. It was incredibly traumatic. I crushed him in game 1, and then game 2 it was like pillage, like just wreck you. And game 3 was I had to mull to 5 to find lands. Veil of Summer, his Inquisition, it wasn't good enough. Yeah, Tarmogoyfs and Stone Rains. Mass, Mill, Living End. Mill, Living End with Foundation Breaker main, Mill, 4-color control, and Jund Saga. Woof. Second mill game I lost on turn 4 twice. Well, it's burn, right? Dying on turn 4 against burn is not unheard of. I don't know what's happening in this game. My opponent with their super super on fleek. Oh, you're talking about two Tasha's. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, well, I've got my boy Demonic Tutors going on over here. He's in the challenge top 8, I believe. I don't want this full screen. Damn it, Tron opponent. What's Tutors doing here? Alright, he's comboing with Yawgmoth and Young Wolf. Not comboing, but just making some value. Against 4-color Ephemerate. Played by Chichio Geyer? Chichio Gire? I don't know. Opponent's on 2 cards in hand. Hey, actually a cute bunny. My Tron opponent seems to be just timing out in my upkeep of turn 2. Turn 3? Turn 3. So we're watching some Demonic Tutors. Aethergust. With the Skoo's activation on the stack. Sacrifices in response. Okay. Why don't you sell some of them back to him, Toboggan? Sell them back some of their own Eternal Witnesses. For a profit, of course. I'm not actually suggesting you do that. So tired of Omnath files. Yeah, they seem to be very popular this season. I was playing Omnath at the time for color because it was the style. We always had Omnath for Christmas, which in those days we called Jelly Bean. 7-1 with the new Urza Urian over the weekend. Nice. Very cool, Da Vinci. Oh! We have an opponent. They haven't said anything in chat. They did not disconnect. They just got up for 7 minutes? Alright, whatever. Go ahead. Oh wow, they're like playing at a reasonable pace. I don't know what to say about this. It's E-Tron? It's been E-Tron the whole time? Okay. Please follow up with Matter Reshaper. I'm so ready for it. Or maybe it's Colorless Prison? It's Colorless Prison. Okay. Weird. Weird champ. We are to make Wilderness Reclamations. And the pass. This should be a pretty easy matchup. Generally. Although if they resolve Mystic Forge right now, I don't actually have an answer for it, so that's a little scary, but yikes. Resolves. I can take one of my deluges, but they can't take my freedom. You have to play face colorless prison. Yeah, that's weird, Mord. It seems like they have all shifted to this version with Thought-Knot Seer. So it's like 4 Thought-Knot Seer, 4 Spellskite, 3 Walking Ballista. Yikes. Okay. Hey, how you doing there, Dave? Learned why I shouldn't have put Deluge in my Cascade EDH deck. LMFAO. What? Why? Oh, cascading into it. I mean, it's fine in the deck, just don't cascade into it. Jeez. Coming hard with the hate. Maybe it's not Colorless Prison, maybe it's just Serum Powder Eldrazi. Well... Shark Typhoon against Karn. Counterspell against the Titan. Theoretically pulls me back into this game. Alright. Or... No, I don't have 4 colors. Jiggy. Well, I'm going to save my Deluge. And then I have a 4/4 Shark. Although... I mean, I do need to kill Karn sooner rather than later. The annoying thing is I basically have to sorcery speed the Shark. I mean, it's not sorcery speed, but they'll see it coming, which I don't love, but... Wait, do I? Is a 1/1 Shark enough? If it is... Yeah, we just do this now. I don't think there's any reason to try to get cute with it. Cycling the Tornado. Well, I have to do stuff. I have to do stuff earlier in this game. If they had less pressure, I would, of course, wait and I want to hardcast it, but it's just not. 5/5 flying, draw a card is more than good enough here. Half joke of cycles and tornadoes. Got it. I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, like... Alright, what are they getting? Something else very dangerous? Like, they have Sunring Titan in hand. What else can they get? I mean, obviously they can get their relic back. Yeah, that's fine. They have to sacrifice it if they want to clear out my Deluge, which, you know, if they do, they do. What's our win con here? What we have many of them. Shark Typhoons, we have the obvious one, Loop Nexus of Fate Forever. Make opponents hate their life. Yeah, very popular with blue-white control players. Kaheera? Yeah, Kaheera is an option. Yep. Yeah, when you go infinite turns, you do need something that actually kills them. Kaheera is frequently that something. Let's get Karen off the table. Jiggy, getting you off the table. Typhoon. Typhoon Counterspell? Counterspell for sure. Yeah, I like second Typhoon. I don't need any of this other stuff. Alright. Dig Through Time's a good card. It's alright. It's even better when it has Flashback Mord. You know what'd be really good is if Dig Through Time drew you 4 cards. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? We want a hardcast tornado here. By we, do you mean the chat? Chat always wants a hardcast tornado, Mr. Sari. You don't have to listen to them. Chat also wants you to infect kill in that's a play. In Hardened Scales. Hey Boosh. You never agree with? No, hardcast tornado's fine in a bunch of places. Like, it makes a lot of sense in some places. Just not as many as people seem to think. I maybe should have upkeep Vantress. Because I don't have another counter for their next for the Mystic Forge. Yeah, I definitely should have. I guess I'll end step Vantress, which feels a little bit weak. I mean, I don't have to end step it, but there's no really reason not to. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So they're at 15. If I make a 3/3 shark, draw the deluge now. I'm gonna play Mystic Forge. Should probably try to find a counter for the Forge, huh? Yeah. 0 value Shark Typhoon is fine by me. The 5/5 is all I need. We could find a Solitude anytime now. Okay. The classic relic timing. Relic you? Oh, okay. What? That's fine. Oh, it's because I reinstalled. I don't have a stop on my turn. Well, I want to have the possibility, Turducken Law, of drawing Archmage's Charm. Because Archmage's Charm is a number of the counter spells in this deck. So that's why I'm leaving up 3. 2 isn't good enough in a large number of cases. Which is why I didn't do it. I didn't mean to do this now, opponent. I apologize. Oh my. Well, they're going to get to go off. But maybe we'll just kill them. Alright, resolves. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just, there's a very specific reason I did it the way I did it. Would I have liked to make a 1/1? Yes, absolutely. Probably, yes, we're very close to lethal. That's fine. That doesn't matter. Actually, it matters a little bit, but that's fine. Not enough. Wait, we have lethal? 5. They gain 0. 8. Plus Kaheera? Solitude, Kaheera, Reclamation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I have enough mana for everything. What do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 16? Oh, Typhoon. Yeah, they're dead. Lethal shark. Smash. Okay, so I do have the end step stop now. All right. 7, cast Nexus. This is just less clicks. Could have hard casted, what a waste. I want the card, Sari. I want the card. 7/7 shark. Draw a card. Smash. Always draw more cards, my friend. Always draw more cards. Okay, Veto. Force. No need gut shot. Pending is fine. I don't really want verdict, but I think one verdict is fine. Sentinels drew you 6 cards in 2 turns. Jesus. Jesus. Alright, on the draw, I will keep this. Dodge the Fury, yeah. I hate having to play like that. I really do. Yeah. Like, I understand that's what you're in for with those decks, but... Did they get another 7 that just has Tron? Yep. Yikes. Oh no, not again. Oh no. Yeah, you just don't play around it ever. Yeah, makes sense. No TKS, please. Not yet. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, Shadowless, we could have, and I saw that someone exclamation point carded it, and if I thought it needed talking about, I would have talked about it, but that's very narrow, and if you draw it literally after that exact moment, it's not going to do anything. So technically, yes. Shoot. Technically, we could do that. I think it's a very, very low upside. Yeah, I saw that we had Force of Vigor, but like, what am I going to do? Force of Vigor, the Serum Powder, and the Relic here? I probably should have discarded one of these Deluges this turn. That's the honest truth about that. Shit. No turn 1 Force map. Yeah, I'm not too for wanting myself for a map. I'm just not. Like, I don't think that I should do that. It's very likely that they just have the redundant everything, right? I don't agree with that at all. Like, it's just so easy for them to play through you 2 for 1ing yourself like that. Yeah, they didn't take the Force, which is a little bit greedy. Well, I don't have a green card, Mord. I guess I could Charm for 1 now. Because I'm not likely to be able to counter anything, oops, particularly powerful. I did my game badly though, or I played this game badly. I should have kept the Wilderness Reclamation, discarded one of the Memory Deluges, but then they would have thought knotted my Force for sure. So we still have a chance here. Their deck can fizzle off pretty hard. All right, not. All right, we still have the one. We have the one Supreme Verdict, which would pull us back into this very quickly. Well, all this does is remove a spell skate. Oops. 2 Spellskites. They play Force Airy. All right. I think we're just dead. Yeah, it's just lethal. And make them pay 2 life. That's barely relevant for my deck. No. This is colorless prison, Tron prison. I call it Susuru's prison, although it doesn't seem to stick. Maybe we need Growth Spiral for the green count? God, that sucks. I don't know how many bridges they play main deck right now. It actually might be a lot less because they're playing TKS and... yeah, I have a link to it. Hold on. Well, I don't have a link to it. I can get you a link to it very easily. You want this deck to be good, but you think it's too slow and non-interactive? Let's pile up my interaction. And I guess we could call Shark Typhoon interaction. Oh my god, Shadowless, because I'm a moron. I'm not used to playing with these cards. Yeah, that's why. Because I've never played this deck before, or not recently, not this version. There we go, Prison Tron. And I'm trying to figure out my stuff. What was the other deck where someone wanted to do that? Was it Belcher? Oh no, it was there was some Gigantha deck where people were like, yeah, and you could put Gigantha in your hand and then pitch it to the Force, and it's like, that does not work. But Kaheera does all the time. Yeah. There we go. I think this is a keep, but when we don't hit our 3rd land drop, I'm gonna cry again. Or our 4th land drop. Maybe they finally have to take a mulligan in their Serum Powder deck? Nope. They keep their 7 again. I always pop out my companion, but or I try to always pop out my companion, but I'm not gonna fetch if I don't have to. 7 with Tron land map every game. All right, we hit 1. Yep, they're perfectly on Tron every time. You smell turn 3 Tron? I mean, you don't need to smell it. It's right there. But Remand was a nice pickup here. They play any of their 4 mana plays, we'll Remand it. Oh no. Come on, baby. I need it. Need the land hit. They didn't use the mana to fetch. Because they're concerned I'm going to land destruction them? Wild. Okay, so they're going to have Karn as a follow-up, I guess. We've got Force, though, and an extra green card that I don't really need. We have a second. My head. This is... Why has this been this league for this deck? It doesn't make any sense. We're not losing to sideboard cards. We're just losing to, like, game 1 we play a pretty good game, and we win. Game 2, 3, non-games. But as I said, 24 lands with 4 Growth Spiral for this deck seems loose. All right. That was a huge pickup. Get an island. Play the Reclamation. A major misplay that everyone... True. Yeah. It's not even long games, though, Mr. Seri. Like, that's the funny thing, is, like, sometimes they're just, like, really fast games where it's like, nah, Mr. Cafulet played... Like, I missed a land drop, and he played Pillage, which we didn't see any copies of in game 1. This Thought Not Seer number 3. They've played no card draw, no selection of any kind. Thought Not Seer number 3. Like, what? I don't even know if I'm supposed to play this. I mean, I definitely am, but like, if I find the verdict, I can't take it. Good lord. All right. Jesus. So you have a second Reclamation for next turn, which means I get to play Memory Deluge and have 11 minus 7, 5 mana left? 4 mana left. Hey, Dark Odious. Yeah, we're just, like, I'm just getting beat by nonsense. I don't mean the opponent's deck, I just mean, like, the game states have been incredibly nonsensical. Okay, so we'll have Force of Vigor left up afterwards. It's pretty good. I'm going to 1 here, in theory. Which is not great. Maybe worth forcing the Saga. Oh, man. Yeah, we can do it on their upkeep. Oop, hold on. Yeah, we can do it on their upkeep. Or draw step if we wanted to. Not that it matters. Six, 7. They have so much mana, though. None of these are Solitudes. I didn't board them out. Nope. Dig for Verdict? Well, I think I'm taking Shark Typhoon Memory Deluge. If I am taking those cards... Expedition Map can get Inventor's Fair, though. Which is... I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to kill the Saga. I think I have to, like, try to, like, go off next turn. And just... I have to just try to ignore some of the things I can have. Because, like... I think I have to veto this turn. Like, hold veto this turn. Just take the 4, or take the 8, go to 1. But if they just decide that they want to go get Walking Ballista, they kill me. 10 out of 10. There's nothing I can do about that. Unless they have to do it through Karn. Which they shouldn't. Alright, opponent, I'm at 1. Cookbook back Thought Not Seer. Hey, Eyelash. How's your life going? Mine is nothing but pain and anguish. We get good game 1s into abominations of game 2s and 3s. It has been actually kind of remarkable. I think I'm going to take the land. I just need, like, turbo mana this turn. No, the butt that's being kicked is fine. I mean, they can't activate the Saga. So, you know. Oh, actually, they can. They got one floating. DW, they never take Typhoon here. Okay, but I don't know. We make 50 sharks? I mean, I can make a number of sharks. I don't know, 50. Oh, we're hard casting it. I get it, but gotta make a lot of sharks off of very little hay. I have tried that, and I usually end up complaining eyelash. So I'm just a typical Magic player. Are you sure you get it? Yes, I'm fairly sure I get it. Pretty sure mayonnaise is in fact an instrument. There's the Nexus, but it's not useful. Why? Why are you doing this to me? We're just dead. I didn't see one Solitude in 4-4-7-7 cards. 25? 24. Why are we playing Force? What the hell are you talking about? I have green cards. There's 2 of them in play. There's 1 in my exile zone. It's just like they don't have any relevant artifacts anyway. Am I actually dead? I am, right? I think so. Unless they attack badly. Like, what are you talking about? No, I know you're being facetious. I just like Saga and Construct aren't relevant. It's not that they're... It's just that I can't stop them from killing me by playing the Force of Vigor. That would be enough blockers? We'd pop a Construct and make a free... No, they still have 3 Thought Knots. I'm going to get hit by 1. Yeah, we're very close, but we can't do it. I just cannot do it. I'm just going to die. Yeah. It's unfortunate. We were actually very, very close there in the end, and we just get crushed. We'd hit another playable spell off Deluge. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting to find something. Oh, you meant pitch cast the Force. Yeah, and that was a problem that I was like actually talking about earlier. Yeah, we couldn't pitch cast there, but then again, they Thought Not seared me 3 times. Pitch cast 4. No, it doesn't, Mord. It was close, but they didn't play any spells, so I couldn't cast anything, right? Unless I'm a moron. Am I a moron? Let's go back. For some reason, my brain was locked in on we now... I can't return to the game. Well, I know we didn't have a green card, but did we have another Deluge? No, the Deluge found me 0 green cards. Well, we couldn't get Kaheera because we had to play the Shark Typhoon at sorcery speed. We could counter the Vigor, then counter the counter. Oh, there you go. See, all the smarter players than me should be streaming. Why are they not? I don't know. All right, we're going to keep this hand and never find our 3rd land, right? I think that's the deal. Loris. Have your determination? Well, it's stupidity. You're playing a deck with remands. Always think about counting your own spells. I refuse. This deck is just too hard to play. I don't think that it's that hard to play. We have had some really unfortunate games, like due to some of the deck building, because I'm not intimately familiar with it. You're playing a deck with Remand's a fantastic card. What are you talking about? I've had many, 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 many months of success playing Remands in Modern. But I admit I'm definitely not rising to the adversity of some of my draw steps. First deck Zach's played with Remand. I played Wilderness or Indomitable Creativity this week. Countet spell makes Remand better. How do you figure, Gato? I don't think you're wrong. I just don't quite understand. All right, we got double white for the one verdict. Bobbling me, so this means they have another discard spell. Oh, yeah. I agree that there's definitely some value in that. So on one hand, pitching verdict is the silliest thing I can do. Actually, I think we pitched the Shark Typhoon here, right? They're never going to play more than one creature out, right? Unless I pitch the verdict, then of course they're going to play all their cheap creatures out. Shark Typhoon defends me from monkey stuff right now. Pitch verdict. Dawn. Don't be a coward. Alright, whatever. What do you call it? Chicken. Well, I feel like the non-cowardly play here is go shock, grab Kaheera. Why shock? Because they don't know about this land. People always bitch at me when I play the land that they know about versus the one they don't know about. In theory, they don't know I have the 4th mana for the Deluge or the next level of the Shark Typhoon, and like this is Death Shadow. They're gonna be chunking me with this guy. Maybe the 2 life will end up mattering, but a lot of the time, like I was at 19, now I'm at 17 versus being at 19 still. It's just not a huge deal. They're representing Drown. Can't drown a Solitude right now. Or a Memory Deluge. So right now I can Deluge into the Solitude. They do play some number of Spell Pierce. But I don't need to do this on my turn. I can do it on their upkeep if I want to. Yeah. Heard something about it. Yeah, they can't drown either of these. They could Spell Pierce. Pending, huh? Land and pending? Definitely taking the land out of these cards. Yeah. Pending removal spell. So assuming they don't discard me, other Solitude, so ending doesn't get drowned. Well, what we can do is we can play ending, and if they respond with drown, then we respond with the Solitude, right? I can just... Well, I need to draw a non-fetch. They have a discard now? That's just Croxa. Oh, but they don't have mana left. They just discard Nexus here. Wait, now I just get to hardcast Solitude and eat their Death Shadow? Yeah. We Solitude Crocs. Oh no, sorry. We Solitude the Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then yeah, and the Shadow dies unless they have their 1 bolt, and it's usually exactly 1 bolt. Yeah, I'm on it. I figured out the line. In my mind, you can only Solitude Death Shadows to kill all the Death Shadows, which always will work, but there are many other situations which can work in different ways. This does not stop this from happening unless they have. I guess they could push or heat their own DRC here. They could also bolt themselves. Yep. Oh, they screwed up. Excellent. Kill my Solitude. Deal. In. No takesy backsies. Good old 3-for-1. I tell you. Ooh. Classic Kamigawa. I love it. The very first time they did the panorama lands. I tell you what. I would hardcast here if I didn't have exactly 6 cards in my graveyard so that they could drown it, but I'm not. Land history, PogChamp. Take those 3-for-1s. Sure do. Sure do. Oh, little monkey. So they're gonna drown. They're gonna have to drown the shark, I guess. How big of a shark do I make? 4? Yeah, just all 4. There's no reason not to. I mean, there's not a good reason not to. So the card in their hand is almost definitely drown. Show me. Show me. Do it. Do it! Right. Draw Solitude? Oh. Ooh. Your monkey. But what if it stayed your monkey because it dashed? What then, opponent? So now I gotta Archmage's Charm the monkey? That sucks. They still have a Luris in hand. This whole situation sucks. Why does this card have dash again? Why does dash work the way it does? So do I just Vantress here? Yes? Or do I just let it hit me and then I Memory Deluge afterwards? I guess I Memory Deluge before. Scry is viable? It's viable. I can play the Deluge. Wasn't it Brad Nelson that designed it? I have no idea. To be fair, most of the people who just Deluge EOT, what if they hit Counterspell off my deck? That's pretty disastrous, right? Whereas if I play the Deluge first, I can't steal their Ragavan. It's being dashed. If I steal their Ragavan, I will have a Ragavan temporarily. Very temporarily. So we take Deluge, Shark Typhoon. Yeah, it sure does, Gato. It sure does. That's why I was saying, why does this thing have dash again? It's alone. Yeah, exactly. They mixed the combat. Businessman. I mean, it's not that they forgot. They just clicked through it. Right? I can't believe monkeys. Well, this deck is actually worse for the monkeys. Is today a hardcast day? I mean, it might be. We're playing a bunch of Reclamation decks. Resolves? Huh? It's so good. It's so good. Hey, what if Prismatic Ending was an instant? That'd be pretty busted. I don't think so. All right, let me show you. Oh, so good. Exactly, Mr. Siri. As intended for Modern. As intended for Eternal format play. Not a flying toy. As seen on TV. Yeah, thank you, Sam Black, for saving us from Prismatic Ending being actually the greatest removal spell of all time, instead of just, like, kind of mostly. Stopping Caracas. And Doomsday. Maybe he doesn't want the job, Jiggy. Maybe all he was willing to take was the MH2 job. It's the best removal spell of all time. I'm going to push back on that. I don't think it's the best removal spell on all time. I think it's in contention. There are things that Swords to Plowshares does that card does not. Now, like, again, being universal doesn't necessarily make it, like, better than the... But it's good, but it's not perfect. I'll be right back. Oh, should have had all that beer and coffee and watermelon. All right. So Veil, Isolate, Endurance. So I think we have to cut the Reclamations. Probably cut the Remand. Some number of the counterspells. Oh yeah, Nexus. Don't have Greek cards for Endurance. We're intending to cast it in the matchup. Hey, Visala. I'm intending to cast it in this matchup. Unlike, like, Force of Vigor in the Actually, in the previous match, I was intending to cast Force of Vigor, and I think in game 2 and 3, we never found our 4th land. Like... it was just, like, disastrous. It was just like, nah. Hey, Vija. Oh, Growth Spiral we don't need here. So let's bring back 1 Reclamation and 1 Remand. Yeah. Now we're like a really, really bad... Boosh, it's just the way I feel about it. It's like, you're like a good mod, you had a good energy to chat. Just like you're a good human, you know? Tell people how I feel about them. Feel people how I tell about them. Wait, hold on. Getting a little Cosby on that one. You heard me, Sari. I feel people how I tell about them. My hypothesis today, Visala, was that I wanted to play some good decks. So I chose this and the Teamer Rec deck, and I feel like we're just gonna like 04, 05 some leagues. Also, these decks are not really good. Like, they're like, you know, tweaked off versions of actual top tier decks, but not themselves particularly. All right, double discard. Got it. Well played, opponent. I see we're playing some stimulating Magic Gathering cards today. Yeah, more clunky versions of good decks, exactly. Well, it's like saying like Lotus Field is a more clunky version of Blue-White Control. Is it? Yeah, it's more powerful. Actually, I want to push back on that one, Visala. I actually do not usually feel advantaged playing Wilderness Reclamation against good Blue-White players, because it's just so easy to beat your 4-mana sorcery speed spell a lot of the time. Oh, Thoughtseize is very satisfying to cast for Delta Victor, for sure. Thoughtseize is definitely like a good part of the like the nonsense police for modern. Like Thoughtseize is part of what helps us not just live in a world entirely buried by uh what's the word I want? Belcher. Nexus is really annoying for them. Oh gosh. I hope it's not too annoying. So two of my endurances are in my graveyard. We have two more. I think I'd rather get Hallowed Fountain here than prepare for the other endurance that I'm probably not going to draw. And by the time I draw another endurance, I'll have the Reclamation most likely. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, Isolate's certainly a fine sideboard card right now. Depends on what you're worried about. Because you still have the options of things like, they have nothing? What is happening over there? Usually my opponents play like 5 expressive iterations by now. I don't even know if I want to jam this Reclamation into their obvious Drown in the Loch. Drown your wreck. I'm just not going to play into it then. Like, I don't have to. Just play Kaheera and eat one of the removal spells. Doesn't feel good, but might as well. They hit another white source, I get to cast Solitude, so Kaheera beats. Well, not really, though. I don't know that I would attack with it, because they could very easily just have Death Shadow. Like, I don't want to put their life total down for them and then get beat up by them getting to cast a Shadow, which they otherwise couldn't. They have to counter the Teferi, so they'll drown now. Now they might have 2, but that's what I'm saying. Nimzo switch. No, there's no S in there. Nimzowitch. Yeah, I feel like I've usually been buried by by iterations by now. Iteration always comes in herds. So, are you telling me they've migrated to the south or something this game, or? Like the Canadian geese, they went to Florida. Okay, you can play Inquisition this turn. Finally. Slam wreck next turn. If they don't shock this, they shocked it. I can't slam the wreck in when they have. I still feel like I'm kind of in the driver's seat. Like, they can't really. Maybe they have nothing and they misclick the shock. Maybe. They did miss a Ragavan attack. Really love Gyoza, but the mana might be way better with just sticking with Dimir, since we only have red for the 3/1 drops. So they're cool and all, but not mid. Worst slash color. Replacement could be Bone Shards or Main Deck Rebuke. Some sideboard cards instead of the red ones. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely true quote, and it's definitely something that I have thought of a number of times. But it's hard for me to imagine the sideboard things being. And the thing is, Voldaren Epicure is so. Am I just hard casting Solitude, or am I going Isolate Shark? Isolate Shark, because if they counter this, then I get to Solitude on the untap, and I want the lifelink creature anyway. That's not a big deal, but Solitude's the better removal spell anyway. Okay, they had the drown, perfect. This means I get to go Reclamation Solitude? Unless they have Spell Pierce. Slam Rack. We're gonna Slam Rack. The question is, do I want to put a 2/2 Shark in play first? Anyway, quote, it's possible, but I've been really convinced with Epicure in that deck. Questionable Drown there. I agree with that. Cycle, then untap. No. I mean, I think so, but it's like, obviously the Shark Typhoon, once I have the one Reclamation in play. Yeah, I know. We get an extra land to play around Spell Pierce, which we found, so he's good. And I don't even have to shock. Poke chump. All right. I don't know, tap like that. Could have left up double white, but whatever. Oh, I could have attacked. Sorry. So bad. Go. Yuck. Yeah. Kind of all worked out very nicely there. I don't know how to write the correct pronunciation, but Nims Oswich is the name of a legendary chess master. Oh, that should be really easy to find then. Hold on. Yeah. Nimzowich. There you go. Thank you, chess videos. The Nimzowich defense. Well, they had the immediate shadow. Yeah, it could be quiet, but I don't think that that's as good for what the deck is doing. I think Epicure is like almost exactly what you want for that deck, and it just is really difficult for me to imagine other cards that even loosely replace what that card is doing in that deck. All right, well, let's see if they have yet another Drown. I'm assuming they don't. If you want a meme deck Viscera, I made a meme Reclamation deck a while back that was Glittering Wish Reclamation. It was 80 card Bant, but it had the triomes for every color. And it had sideboard everything. Every card I've ever seen anyone ask Aspiring Spike, like, oh, why don't you play this in your Reclamation deck? All of them. Why 5 colors? So you can play all of them. So you can play everything. You could play everything. Like there was a Raugan Triome, there was a the Sultai Triome, Ketri Triome, everything. Because in the sideboard there was stuff with every single color. Hold on, let me get the deck list. I know the music stopped. Glittering. Bant Glittering Reclamation. There you go. So let's see. What did I have in the sideboard? Fracturing Gust, Coma, Expansion Explosion, Night of Autumn, Supreme Verdict, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, Wheel of Sun and Moon, Sphinx's Revelation, Ashiok, and Hydroid Krasis. And at some point there was an Expansion Explosion. Sorry, there's a monkey. Well, I think I have to block the monkey, but I don't want to because like I gotta block the monkey. Yeah, I don't think I cast the Coma ever. Jeez. I can't attack, I'm just growing the shadow. I'm gonna lose this one, huh? Unless I top deck like, I don't know, Deluge. They had triple Drown though in the top 18 cards of their deck. Yeah, I just had a really if you want to watch more Gyoza, I streamed it, but I'm not putting it on YouTube, Coyote. So if you look at the Friday stream, there's 2 leagues of Gyoza, but they were really, really bad. They were uh, both 2-3s, and I was just feeling I just got beat to hell. You seen all the VODs? Well, you're more up to date with it than most people are. They had another iteration. They had another iteration. Oh no. Glaring Wish is such a cool card. I agree. We have lots of outs for the Shadow, but not if they have another Drown. Which is not likely, but Bobble. Alright. It's a pretty weak draw. What is Gyoza? Oh, sorry. It's the name of a deck for Grixis Urza. Grixis, Goryo's Urza. 24 lands. We can't draw them early, but we can flood late. Has anyone played Jeskai Ascendancy since Dig got banned? Yeah, lots of people actually. It's not a popular deck, but it's definitely like something that you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, JAC. Nexus back in. It's the 7-mana play that doesn't do anything on the battlefield. I'm not sold. You need more stuff going on, otherwise it's 7-mana Explorer. And this deck is very good at pushing me down to having nothing. Like, you just watched a game where it's like, the reason I boarded down on Reclamations is because Reclamation requires you to have other resources. So if they just take they take everything from your hand, except for the Reclamation, and then they just go, I don't know, can you top deck the nuts? This has happened to me every match today, where all I want is a hand with 3 lands. I just mulled to 5 to find more. Like, it's still 2. Good God. We're gonna get turn 1 discarded, aren't we? Oh, I should play the Vantress. It's fine. I'm so tilted by these draws. This is literally every match has been mulled to 5 on game 3. I don't get it. 24 lands should not have this happen this consistently. Yeah, and now I can't kill that because I missequenced because I was tilted. All right. If they discard me, I think I'm just gonna scoop this go next. I just can't deal with the way this has been going. It's fine. Like, sometimes you just get variants to death. I'm not super invested in the results of this deck. No discard. All right. I know Steve's voice. It's like, that's why I would do it, right? Because it's just like we're playing 24 lands. We've like constantly had problems of either like we can't draw enough lands or we flood, and it just shouldn't happen like that, but it does sometimes. My opponent at the by the end of that game had, I think it was 3 iterations and 3 Drown unlocks in their top 20 cards. Yes, I should not have your 100% correct, Bagaboosh. You are 100% correct. It's very actually, but yeah. I don't mind because you pointed it out. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know, like, I was just clicking and I realized I'd put both mana into it, and I was like, I think this is what happens a lot with high curve decks without many cantrips. I guess. And like almost every match I'm cutting all the growth spirals, but they wouldn't help me here. But like, I don't a lot more than in decks like Murktide. Well, obviously Murktide is playing like 10 cantrips or something close to that number. I I don't even have a second white card. This is unbelievable. But it should not happen this badly. Like in the 3 mulligans I took, like one of them should have had 3 lands at least, right? Because that's what I'm looking to keep is 3. Murktide often has to mulligan until they find their sometimes they'll have a couple hands that just don't have a land, but they should find one. All right. Not beating that. But like I agree that like, but I don't know, like I feel like I'm mulliganing properly. It's just like it's not, you can't blame the construction of this for just like 2 land, 1 land, 2 land mulligans. Expected value of a 7 card hand with 24 lands is 2/8, I think. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. 60, 24, 7, 1. Or sorry, 7, 2. 85% to have 2. $60, 24, 7, 3. It's going to be lower. 58. No, I get it. But like, yeah, you should expect 2.8 lands in a 7 card hand. Yeah, but if I'm mulligan 3 times and I still can't find a 3, so this hand can't cast the Growth Spiral. I think I'm keeping again, but like this is very likely to go badly. But that's like what I said almost from the beginning, is like I don't like seeing a deck that has 24 lands and 4 Growth Spirals. I would rather cut to the Growth Spirals for just more lands. Do you know how good this hand would be if this was just a land? But someone 5-0'd with this. That's the thing. And that's why I usually just am like, I'm going to try their construction as is. And just, maybe there's something I don't understand about it. In this case, I don't think that that was correct. Sorry. Damn it. I think the number one thing that stops me from playing more filter lands, like people keep asking about like, hey, you should play more filter lands in this deck. And I'm always like, nah, I don't really think I want to. I think it's the tediousness of actually having to play with them. Growth Spiral is just because it plays well with Wreck. Does it? Do you know how much better these would be as lands? Yeah, I honestly, Mord, like I'm just trying to be like honest with myself about it. Is like I just wouldn't be surprised if yeah, of course. Of course. Yep. I know I could stay in that game. I just don't care. I don't care. Let's go next. Fuck that. You gotta be kidding me. Jesus, the last couple of days have been something special. I thought today was starting out better, but it was not. Just getting varianced into the dirt everywhere. All right, so boarding in the Force of Vigor, I'm going to leave the Growth Spirals in. And I need one more board out. I remember when Mord went on like a tear of like, it was like 3 and 12 or something like that. 3 Mystic Gate, WTF. Well, you're assuming you're going to draw a 3rd land. I guess, though, you could draw 2 of them as Mystic Gates. So maybe this person just got really, really, really lucky with their mana base. I don't know. But there is a reason that I don't like filter lands in the 3-color decks. Just need 25 more trophies to beat Spike now. I mean, I'm not... Well, I didn't get tricked into playing this deck, Mr. Seri. I went looking for decks. I chose it. I didn't analyze the mana base overly. I looked at the rest of it and thought it looked pretty good. And it 5-0'd, so the mana base must be reasonable. And the answer is not always. Not always. You're doing some comment. Oh, I know. I'm just... Hand's perfect. I mean, it actually has lands. Like, this very easily could draw everything we need. We always seem to top deck this in time. And, of course, everything is ruined by Esper Sentinel. This is exactly the kind of hand I would rather have, yes. Okay, so we're probably going to give them the card off the Growth Spiral because being able to leverage more mana. Esper Sentinel makes me angry. Oh, they're just going to have the turn 2 hammer, huh? Mm-hmm. Come on. Yep. I don't know why this happens so much to me. And it didn't used to. Is that how it always... I don't know. It didn't used to be. Well, no, it's not, Mr. Seri. If it was, it would trigger every time, not just the first time. But it certainly is a reasonable foil to cantripping. Yeah, I guess so. It's like, I feel like Hammer Time just never drew these hands against me. And like, I had interaction theoretically up. Like, they just were like, nah, I don't care. Well, we've got an answer for the Esper Sentinel. Of course, I'm going to go to 4 to play it. And even if I had like a verdict, they have Saga making tokens now. Oh, do they have the second hammer? It'd be funny if they do. I'll go to 5 instead of 4. They don't. Why did they move the hammer again? They didn't move the hammer. They can't move the hammer. They can't move the hammer. They didn't and they can't. Alright, we're just dead? Yep. Amazing. Why not put it on the Sentinel? Because I already want to kill the Sentinel, so if I did have a Solitude or something like that, they're giving me the best trade. Instead of putting it on the Mem Knight, where if I had interaction, I would have to kill a Mem Knight, which I don't want to do. No, so on Hammer Time, it's like... No, I understand that, Carrion Lich, but like... It's also not just the games like that that are brutal from Hammer. It's the ones where they play around your removal by not hammering you, and then you just get ported every turn. It's not Infect. People need to stop calling it Infect. It's not Infect. It's so much different and so much worse than Infect. Because the thing is, when you make Infect have it, and then they do, and then you blow them out, the game's usually over. Against Hammer Time? Not over yet. It's a better Infect? No, it's a deck that has some elements of Infect, but it is not as one-dimensional as Infect. Like, there are games with Hammer where they win entirely without ever playing a Hammer, or even seeing a Hammer. But the fact that the opponent knows that the hammer could come in, they have to respect it all the time. And then sometimes you just play a mid-range game. It's a better mono-white field bender. There you go. Now we're talking. It's a white Hardened Scales deck, I guess? Let's see if we can get the 1/4. This has been abysmal. I don't even... This hand is awful, right? Again. I'm on the draw. I mean, I guess I'll keep it. No, I'm gonna keep it because I can cycle the Shark Typhoons, but like, Jesus. Oh, yeah, if you're playing Grixis, it's totally different. But so the other thing is, like, when you look at most of the top tier decks, like any DRC black red deck or or Murktide, any DRC Unholy Heat Ragavan deck has a totally different matchup against Hammer Time than like everyone else. It's like, wow, Hammer Time again, and this time with this is the setup for the turn 2 kill. They're gonna go for it too. They don't care about Solitude. I guarantee they're gonna go for it if they have it. Nope. Okay. So they don't have the hammer. Or they're going slow. What if we changed archetypes drastically? What do you want me to play, Mord? What do you want me to play? Really helps you with your bad streaks. What do you want me to play? Oh, you don't know. Okay. Archon? Absolutely not. Play Yawgmoth? I don't enjoy Yawgmoth. I think I played it one time and I 4-1'd with it, and it's just like... Yeah, I see what you mean, Mord. But I did that, right? Like, I was playing the Gyoza deck, and then I switched to, like, some blue decks, and then I switched... Like, I've been moving around, and just getting smashed by everything. Playing another version of Yorion doesn't count. What other version of Yorion did you play? Let's brew a terrible metagame deck? I mean, I don't need to brew one. I can just play one. There's lots of them floating around. Yeah, that's exactly the problem, Mr. Sari. Is every time I go into queues, anytime I run into any of these decks, you like, no matter what you do, you're not as good at using almost any tools as the DRC discard decks or the DRC counter decks or the like a lot of the Luris decks or Hammer Time, which I guess is a Luris deck. I think the deck I would kind of want to play right now that can compete with these but plays cards that I want to play is Blue Moon. Oh, right. They just do that. I thought I actually had a play. I thought I actually had a chance, but they had the giver the whole time. It's always been a giver. Okay. Oh, we don't need that, right? I think it was 9 burnt by Sen. I think I have an 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, 9. Yeah, we did really well with the version with 3 main deck subtleties last time, Alazik. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Double Growth Spiral, again, awful, but I'm keeping it on the other half of this hand. This has been amazing. This has been amazingly bad. Sorry, I want that there. Clearly, we should play more Lutri Blue Moon, because at least I was having fun with that, and it was reasonably successful. Again, Hammer has the perfect opening. All right, we have a reasonable hand. We have successfully reached reasonable hand. Yeah, neither have I, Mord. I want to look at the land count in this deck afterwards because I think something is horribly wrong with it. I think something is horribly, horribly wrong with the land count in this deck, and I don't know what it is. Oh no, they can have the hammer. The hammer's even going to enter the battlefield, just like they wanted. See? They get to have the hammer. I'm not cruel. Never have 8 mana. I don't need 8 mana with a Pure Steel Paladin. Cruel, just sadistic, yeah. So we're gonna force. Oh, they can actually protect from Force with Giver. So maybe I have to give them a card right now and bounce the Giver. Yeah. So that I can force the Sentinel and the Hammer. Sentinel and the Ornithopter. Sentinel and the... Oh, but then I have to give them another card. God damn it. Fucking Esper Sentinels, man. Yeah, but I had to give them the card. Maybe I should have bounced the Esper Sentinel. I don't know. What the hell? I'm worried about this. They have another hammer? Of course they fucking do. Jesus. I mean, I did give them 2 extra cards, but god damn it. And the Giver? Yeah, so now... Okay. Yeah, I know Mr. Sari. I love that card too. I can't play this. I have to pitch cast it. Now we go splat. Now we're okay. They didn't play the Giver. I don't know why. So I have double pitch here. Pretty pog. I can let them overcommit. Yeah, perfect. Shit. Now I need to now I have to pitch my whole hand? Yeah. Well, hold on. So I could force Hammer Drum. Then they just chill. Solitude. They already can kill me. I'm at 10. They have a 10 power creature. It's just like I don't actually have to respond to the aid. So I guess I force the hammer and the aid. Then they play the second hammer. And then we Solitude the Pure Steel Paladin in response to that. Yeah, so we force the action, I'm pretty sure. Oh, unless they do that. So you go force these two, Solitude this one. Wait, do they have... Yeah, they have the artifact count. 1, 2, 3. See what they target? Well, don't I want to get rid of the aid right now? I feel like I kind of do. I don't want to see what they target because they draw a card. If I'm going to Solitude, I don't... If I force the hammer and the aid, and I solitude the pure steel, they can't equip hammers right now. Which is, I'm pretty sure that's where I want to be. Aid's not that good anymore. It is as soon as they draw a Saga or another Stoneforge Mystic, or they get Luris because there's a hammer in their graveyard, or like it. I'm pretty sure this is correct. The fact that I'm going down to 0 cards for it is just like awful, but you know, you do what you gotta do. Yeah, they forced the action, so it's like I guess I'll take it. All right, I got nothing. I got a Vantress Scry. Pure Steel. Yeah. 05. I don't think I've had an honest 05 in a long time, especially one that looked this reasonable. So let's do some quick maths here. It has 11 green sources. Oh, no, 12, 13. No, we just drew horrendously. We just drew awful. 13 is like more than good enough for the number of green cards that are in this main deck. The fact that we could never cast the growth spirals was like, it wasn't the deck's fault. Like, none of the variance that happened was because of some colossal flaw in the deck building. Mystic Gate. No, I mean, I agree with you, but there's also like verdicts and solitudes. I just don't think that it should have gone that way. Like in terms of the numbers say, as far as I can tell, and like someone can nitpick me, but like I think there's enough of everything that's supposed to be in here. It just came out horribly. Like the number of times we had to mulligan to 5 and not be able to do anything with it was just crazy, just absolutely nuts. So I don't know what to say other than I am not convinced about Growth Spiral in 20 with 24 lands. I just go 20, 25, 26 lands if you want to, and then play two Growth Spirals or something like that, because you like, I know we flooded a couple times, but like I just don't. Well, and you are okay with not casting Growth Spiral on turn 2, because a lot of the time you're going to be playing Counterspell, Remand, Prismatic Ending, right? Like, that's fine, but like the number of times that we just got kind of screwed and we were just sitting there with like nothing, like we had to like cycle a Shark Typhoon on 2 and then not hit our third land was just not okay. So, variance wise, we got. I really think that was the biggest flaw. I think if you ran this deck back, it could be totally fine. I just haven't seen abysmal draws like that in a long time. So it's really hard to offer any criticism or commentary about a lot of the deck choices here, other than I don't think it's as bad as it looked in that league. It's just not. Anywho, if you are in the future watching this on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any of my other videos you're interested in, and I will see you there.